The passing game stuff is going to be very similar.
On the fake, quick throw, A.J. Brown has his first catch working against Trayvon Diggs. Another fake, Minshew has a man wide open, and he's got the completion. It's Brown catching, turning inside the 10. A big play to A.J. Brown. 2 quick catches, and the Eagles are down to the 10. On a 3rd and 9, Minshew runs out. He can run for it. And Parsons says, no, you won't. Micah Parsons with the speed. He had some help from Deshaun Wright from the secondary. And after giving up the big play, the Dallas D will hold to a field goal try. So instead, it'll be Jake Elliott from a field goal try. 25 yards out. And the kick is up and good. So, Eagles on the opening drive with Gardner Minshew. Couple big plays. Settle for a field goal.
Mostly plays in the slot.
Pressure. Prescott. Rolling, firing. Pollard's wide open. He's got a first down.
Open the field up a little bit. This Dallas passing game gets even better.
On the fake, Prescott, little roll out, and it's intercepted by Sweat. Josh Sweat breaks a tackle. Sweat is going to score. Third and 5. Prescott looks to run, can do so, has a first and more. Slides on down, out across the 40.
No matter who has the ball, both these fronts are amongst the best in the business.
Come with a blitz. Prescott in trouble. Maddox is there again. Prescott still on his feet. He completes. It's a first down. What a play as Prescott stayed up, found Gallup, and the drive continues. Some play. Drive continues. Pollard in the backfield. Fake to him. Pressure coming again. Now they screen it to Pollard. Gets a great block. Pollard with that speed inside the 40. Got a heck of a block from Tyler Biadasz, the center, to spring him.
You don't want to take away what's making him great.
Good pocket here, but he decides to roll. Directing traffic. Prescott can't find anyone. There's nobody open. Now just going to fake and run and dive forward for a first down.
You just have to be a little bit more careful that you rush with some integrity and keep him contained in the pocket.
Prescott over the middle, wide open. It's Pollard. Oh, what a move. Pollard down inside the 10. What a move that was as he got by Maddox. It's 1st and goal.
They must call this is the gold jacket formation. They got 3 offensive line Hall of Famers on the field together.
Gonna run it to Elliott, who walks in for the touchdown. On 2nd down, give it again. Sanders breaks through Parsons' tackle, has a first down and more out across the 40. And a good strong run for Sanders. Glad you're with us and happy holidays to you and yours. Start this 2nd quarter with the Eagles up by 3. And Minshew back to pass. Slings one over the middle and it's intercepted. Curse has got it. And this Dallas D gets the turnover. In for him on a 3rd and 15 now. 4-man rush. Prescott quick throw comes underneath Lamb. It's a long way to go, and he's not going to get there. To the 45. Bring up a 4th down and long.
Do you make him jump off sides, try to get a free play, pick up an extra 5?
No, they're going to go. Prescott back. Pressure comes. Lets it fly to the corner. Incomplete and a penalty flag. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And Darius Slay shaking his head like it could be on him.
That's unfortunate. He's had a great start to this game. But you mentioned if Michael Gallup can continue with T.Y. Hilton.
4-man rush. Prescott going deep. Has Lamb. He's got it. And the spin. And he's in. Touchdown, Dallas. Dallas went for it on 4th and 8. They got the penalty on Slay to keep the drive going. Penalty here. Maybe a free play. Minshew lets it rip. And he's got Dallas Goedert, who's back this week from the shoulder injury with his first catch, if it stands. Missed the last 5 games. Minshew on the fake. Some pressure. Floats it. Has a man. And it is caught. Beautiful throw to Quez Watkins, who's got a first down. Trying to show it here. 3rd down. Minshew over the middle has a first down. It is Brown. A.J. Brown in traffic has his third catch today.
This looks like quarterback sneak. Don't be surprised if there's something off of it.
Minshew going to sneak it in. Is he in? Waiting for a signal. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
It doesn't matter. The whole stadium knows it's coming. They don't even fake it. The formation, they just sell out. Everyone line up there a yard off the ball and just push. And they're just telling you there's nothing you can do to stop it.
2nd and 7. Coming near side, and Gallup's got another catch right around a first down. Looks like he's got it. See where they spot it. So Michael Gallup has his second catch today. 3rd and 7. Sweat jump, free play. Prescott sees it, fires, caught. Lamb catches, takes a hit. It doesn't matter. Down to the 36 of Philadelphia. But as Aaron told us, without Maddox, it's a game changer. Maddox is an excellent nickel corner. Out with that toe injury. Prescott, quick hitter. Lamb again. Gets a couple blocks. First down. CeeDee Lamb. 7 catches, approaching 100 yards in this first half. On first down. Another quick hitter. Lamb in stride. Beauty of a throw, and it's 1st and goal. Dallas. What a dart from Prescott. A tease. 3rd and goal. Dallas going quick. Prescott floating end zone. Gallup can't handle it. It's incomplete. And so it'll be Maher from 21 yards out. Try and tie the game. And it's up and through. Minshew fires, caught by Goddard in stride, into Cowboys territory and down to the 35.
Inside, outside, right, left, it doesn't matter. They're going best on best.
3rd down, blitz coming. Minshew, Smith makes the catch. Now did he get a first down? It is close. He got slung backwards, but where he actually caught it, and you see he got a good spot. Pressure up the middle. Minshew throws it away, just like you said. Cowboys got good pressure there.
But instead, they have to throw 3 out of bounds and settle for a field goal.
And mark this as a 47-yard try for Elliott. His kick is up, and it is good. But hold on, there's a penalty flag, so hang on. And Minshew on a fake. Minshew stands in, has Goddard wide open. Great grab by Goddard, who held on. Oh, Dallas Goddard went up for a jump ball and came down with it. 3rd and 9. Good pocket. Minshew underneath. Gainwell in stride. He's got a first down and more into Dallas territory. 2nd and 9. On the fake. Quick hitter. A.J. Brown. Tough contested catch. Alexander was all over him, but Brown holds in his 4th reception today.
Make Trayvon Diggs play more run support, which they don't want.
They go quick here. Sanders going to bounce it outside as a way to go. And tripped up and not going to get there. Well done by Nashawn Wright, who held on and didn't let go. 4th and 3. Minshew rolling, floating, got a man. Caught for the touchdown. Devontae Smith. A little flip. Elliott trying to get there. He does. Good block. And then some as Elliott with a big run.
On your own 35.
Now it's Pollard in the game. Fake to him. Prescott. A lot of time. And lost it to Pollard, who's wide open in the flat. Cuts upfield. First down. And gets down to the 31. Prescott. 4-man rush. Pressure coming. He's in trouble. Gets hit as he throws far side. And it is good effort by Pollard, but it's out of bounds. Fletcher Cox had good pressure. And that kick is hooking, but it's up and through.
They've been playing Deron Bland at the outside corner a good amount here today.
Minshew ball is loose. It's on the ground. Dallas picks it up and just tripped up his Curse, who had the interception before. He could have rolled in for a touchdown. Minshew saved that, but the big turnover by the Dallas D.
The fact that they can be that good is pretty impressive.
Prescott, time over the middle. Fires, it's caught. Dalton Schultz gets it inside the 10. Great throw by Dak Prescott, and it's 1st and goal. Dallas. 3rd and goal. Prescott rolling, looking, firing. It is caught for the touchdown. Michael Gallup. And so on first down, here's Minshew now, loading up over the middle. Devontae Smith held on. How in the world did he hold on to that? As right hit him. Coming up the middle, blitz. Minshew can't find anyone. Rolling, throwing, caught for the first down. Devontae Smith. What a job by Gardner Minshew to keep the play alive. 3rd and 6. Minshew fires, caught by A.J. Brown. He holds on and he's down to the 12. Another beautiful 3rd down throw from Gardner Minshew.
Zero coverage. There's nobody back for Dallas.
3rd and 6. Everybody's coming. Minshew fires. It is caught. Smith. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 27. That penalty is declined. It's a touchdown.
And make the quarterback hold it a tick longer for Micah Parsons, the unblocked defender, to get home.
And now Prescott on the fake with heavy pressure. Gets it off to Ferguson. Good move. First down and more. Ferguson still rumbling and all the way out near midfield. Pressure again. Prescott in trouble and down he goes. And now the Eagles pass rush starting to get home. Back-to-back sacks, and this time it's Josh Sweat.
And we've seen on these last 2 plays, Phillies take over.
Here's Prescott. Pressure again. Steps in, just throws it deep as far as his arm can take him. Looking for Hilton. Oh, he caught it! A bomb on 3rd and 30 and his first Cowboy catch. 2nd down, blitz coming. Prescott unloads Pollard, makes a great grab inside the 10, and then brought down by Epps. But it'll be 1st and goal, Cowboys. Prescott fires, caught, Lamb, touchdown. Second down. Minshew lofting, has it a catch? Let's see. Devontae Smith, yes it is. 4-man rush. Minshew throws. Who's got it? Looks like Bland has it. It's an interception, number 5 for Deron Bland.
Looks like a brilliant move by Dan Quinn.
It's the second one that Watkins had wrestled away from him for an interception. Here's Prescott. Schultz in stride, leaping over defenders and into Eagles territory for a first down.
A lot of space inside.
Prescott, another quick throw over the middle. It's Lamb in stride, and he has what looks to be another first down.
You cannot allow this Eagles pass rush to get home and make this a longer field goal.
Pressure coming. Prescott gets rid of it. Knocked away. Gallup, the intended receiver, but a great play by Kayvon Wallace. Kick is up, and kick is perfect. Cowboys in front. Sanders in trouble. Lost the football. It is loose, and it's still loose. Dallas says they have it. They do!
This Philly defense needs to stand up right now. They can still stop the clock 4 times.
Yeah, Prescott on a keeper. He's got a block. Prescott racing inside the 10. And a 1st and goal for Dallas. 3rd and goal. Prescott back. Pressure comes. Looking to run. Prescott stops short. And this kick is true.
You have to be going forward out of bounds if you're contacted, or they don't give you the clock stop.
Quick underneath. Gainwell rushing up the middle across the 40-45. Good gain. 1:13 to go. See if they save that timeout. They will. 1 minute to go. Four-man rush. Minshew escapes, pumps, throws. It is caught on the sideline by A.J. Brown. Great catch and a first down. Pressure. Minshew hit as he throws high. Oh, what a catch! Devontae Smith went up and got it.
It's going to push the line that way, one-on-one with Micah Parsons.
It's blocked. Minshew can't find anyone. Here comes Parsons, running for his life and just throws it away. Minshew in trouble, just lost it up. Nobody home. Cowboys gonna win it. What a game. What a game. And the Cowboys take down the Eagles, handing them their second loss of the year, and the division is still in play.
Go.